It is my pleasure to welcome you here today. My name is Marie Pierre, and I am an Immigration Service Officer here at the Little Pond Hospital. At this time, I ask for everyone, please place your phone on silent as we respect the ceremony. Please silence your phone. Can you hear me now? Yes? At this time, I ask for everyone, please place their phone on silent as we respect the ceremony. Will you please silence your phone? Please stand for the name of the national anthem. I would like to introduce our field office director, Eva Musquine, who will say a couple of words. Eva?
Good afternoon. My name is Siva Muthuswamy. I'm a field office director in the public. It is my pleasure to welcome all of you to this special Veterans Day Naturalization ceremony. I am sure this is a day you will always remember. We are very fortunate to have a special guest speaker here today who a little bit later will provide his personal insight as a veteran in honor of this occasion. As an agency, USCIS is committed to bringing our immigration service to members of the military and their families wherever they serve. Since September 2001, we have naturalized more than 71,000 servicemen and women. Including members serving in Iraq and Afghanistan. Our promise is to provide world-class service and expedite applications for naturalization and other immigration benefits for all qualified members of the military and their families. Here at the West Palm Beach office of USCIS, we hope that all new citizens will be inspired by the dedication of our nation's veterans, that you all will cherish and value your citizenship and contribute to our great nation as a model citizens of the United States of America. Thank you and congratulations.
Yes. Some of you have learned the new language, and all of you have studied the history of the government of our great nation. We all have worked very hard to get to this point. Would we not agree? Yes. As citizens of the United States, you will be able to petition for your family members. You will be able to vote in all elections and travel on the U.S. passport. In celebration of Veterans Day today, in celebration of Veterans Day tomorrow, today is a special ceremony dedicated to those who have served in the U.S. Armed Forces. Each year, our country recognizes November 11th as Veterans Day in order to honor, remember, recognize, and appreciate all of those who have served in the U.S. military. It is important that we remember the freedoms we enjoy today are because of the sacrifice made by the men and women who have served in our armed forces. Today we have a special guest by the name of Norman Schlesinger. Norman is retired from the Army. He has fought in the Korean War. He is a local resident from Boynton Beach. He is here with his wife, Joan. How are you? Oh, yes. And he has 3 children and 6 grandchildren. I would like to introduce Norman. Norman, will you step up, please? And join me.
Good afternoon and congratulations. New naturalized citizens, you are now, should be proud citizens of the greatest country on earth. It wasn't many years ago that my grandparents came over from Europe and settled in the United States. I'm proud of what our family has accomplished through these years. Our parents came over, my grandparents came over from Europe probably maybe 100 years ago, 125 years ago. My grandfather came from Austria. My grandmother came over from Russia. So obviously they didn't know each other in Europe. But when they went through Ellis Island, they congregated in an area of New York City called the Lower East Side. In the Lower East Side, they spoke a common language that was spoken in Europe, Yiddish. And I guess somewhere along the lines, they met each other and married. And they must have been married before 1893, because that was the year my father was born, 1893. Now in the Lower East Side, which was a very interesting place, not only was Yiddish spoken, but they were able to go to live theater. They were able to buy live chickens and live fish. And I'm sure all of you know there are areas in your neighborhood where you can get the flavors and smells of the old country that you came from originally. Now, they found each other and got married, and opened up a clothing store in Brooklyn, a men's clothing store. My grandfather was an expert tailor, and my grandmother, she was what I would consider a super salesperson. Now, on the Lower East Side, in the lower part of Manhattan, where they lived, there were many piers. So during many people would walk the streets on their way to Manhattan. But the subway was from Brooklyn to Manhattan. And there were sailors and merchant marines and tourists. And my grandmother, she learned how to say, "Where are you going?" in almost every language. And she looked them over and said, "You intend to go to Manhattan looking like that? A new suit, a coat, a pair of pants." And she'd bring them into the store and she'd show them the merchandise. And eventually, if she sold them something, she told them that before you finish your coffee, my husband will tailor it to your needs. And my grandfather would chalk them up, and she would sit down and she'd serve them coffee or tea. Every day she made some baked goods that they could enjoy. And they went to Manhattan with a new suit, a new pair of pants, or a new jacket. And she did that from the little store in Brooklyn, the lower part of Brooklyn, called downtown. And she raised 6 children in the apartment behind the store. Behind the store. Now my father was the oldest, and when World War I broke out, my father enlisted in the Navy. He was a sailor. His brother, my Uncle Al, went to Europe and fought Germans at that time in World War I, and he went all through France as an army, from the army. Now, my father, when he came back in probably 1917 or 18, somehow he found my mother. Now, my mother was a naturalized citizen of the United States who came originally from Russia and went to England. They got married, and of course, unfortunately, Depression came. So between the years, they were married in 1928. Between 1929 and 32, they raised 3 children. I was one of them. And the interesting part was that after well, we were very young, World War II broke out. Now, we were a little too young to serve in World War II, but we did do something interesting. We all volunteered. We collected newspapers. We collected aluminum foil. We collected scrap metal. Now, my father was a little too old to serve in the army then, but he did go to work for a steel company. And my mother, after putting us to sleep at night, she went to work in the Brooklyn Navy Yard. Why am I telling you this? I'm just basically showing you that there's certain, right now, your responsibility as citizens of the United States, there's services that you have to render. It's responsibility or obligation. And this wasn't the end of the situation. The Korean War broke out, and I was sent overseas. My brother was sent overseas. We had a chance to meet together in Tokyo. And it was very interesting, the idea that we came back from the Korean War. I met my wife, and we now have 3 children. And my daughter, my oldest daughter, is a doctor, and she serves. She serves in the school board. She serves in her temple, whatever house of worship that they're involved in. My brother, excuse me, I'm sorry to digress for a second, but my other daughter works in she works for her school board, and her husband is a member of the school board, and she works in the temple as well. And of course now, I must tell you about my son. My son serves right here in Homeland Security, and he's with the Citizenship and Immigration Services. So we are a family of servants, and you have to think along those lines. You can devote some of your time and some of your efforts to giving back what your country has now given to you, which is citizenship again, the greatest country on earth. So again, I congratulate you, and I'd like to leave you with the words of our President, John Fitzgerald Kennedy. JFK said, "Ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country." I think that is a phrase, an expression that you can carry with you throughout your citizenship. Again, God bless you. I salute you. And God bless the United States of America.
With that said, is anyone here currently serving in our military forces? Please stand so we can recognize you today. We are currently presently served or have served. Please stand for the moment. We salute you and we thank you. As you recite the oath of allegiance. Please remember the men and women in uniform who serve before you, who defend our country since the birth of our nation. Their service has made this ceremony like today possible, so we thank you. Is anyone here taking modified oath due to religious beliefs? Anyone? No? As I call the name of your country, please stand and remain standing for the oath of allegiance. If you are from Bangladesh, please stand and remain standing. Brazil, if you are from Brazil, please stand. Canada, if you are from Canada, please stand. Chile, if you are from Chile, please stand. Colombia, if you are from Colombia, please stand. Cuba, if you are from Cuba, please stand. The Dominican Republic, if you are from the Dominican Republic, please stand. Guatemala, if you are from Guatemala, please stand. Haiti, if you are from Haiti, please stand. Iran, if you are from Iran, please stand. Jamaica, if you are from Jamaica, please stand. Mexico, if you are from Mexico, please stand. Pakistan, if you are from Pakistan, please stand. Peru, if you are from Peru, please stand. Philippines, if you are from the Philippines, please stand. Poland, if you are from Poland, please stand. Spain, if you are from Spain, please stand. Trinidad and Tobago, if you are from Trinidad and Tobago, please stand. The United Kingdom, if you are from the United Kingdom, please stand. And Vietnam, if you are from Vietnam, please stand. If I have not called the name of your country, please stand and remain standing for the oath of allegiance. The oath of allegiance will be administered by Senior Officer Dan Kavanaugh.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. I tell you what, this part of my job never gets old. It's the best thing. I get the distinct privilege of being able to take you guys on the very last step from residency to citizenship. What I need all of you to do is raise your right hand for me and repeat after me loud. I hereby declare on oath that I absolutely and entirely renounce and abjure all allegiance and fidelity to any foreign prince, potentate, state or sovereignty, of whom or which I have heretofore been a subject or citizen, that I will support and defend the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I will bear arms on behalf of the United States when required by the law, that I will perform non-combatant service in the armed forces of the United States when required by the law, that I will perform work of national importance under civilian direction when required by the law, and that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion. So help me God. Congratulations, everyone. And you may want to take a moment now to turn to the citizen next to you and congratulate them.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand. Place your right hand across your heart and repeat after me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I didn't hear fall. Back seat, please. Please direct your attention to the television screen for 3 small clips. The first one is of some immigrants interned in the U.S. throughout the years. The second one is a special message from the President of the United States. And the third one is a musical piece. Please take